What's up, everyone? It's your buddy Jayrassic, and we are coming at you hard with another 1.9 speculation. And this one is going to be based off the free update, not the 1.9 DLC that you have to purchase. Basically, what the update is basically it is a free content for any and all players, whether you buy the DLC or not. Pretty much before every single DLC, Frontier gives us some new toys, or some new animations, or some new mechanics. For example, before the European pack, or with the Europe pack, we got burrowing animations. We also got the restaurants. We also got eggs and foliage. So yeah. Nonetheless, we are all talking about the next DLC, but not many people are talking about the next update that is free to the community to begin with. And you know what? Those are the most interesting, in my opinion, because they vary so much. In some situations, they are solely based off of the next DLC, and in other aspects, they have nothing to do with the DLC. For example, the South American pack, or not the South American pack, the Southeast Asia pack. That DLC, or that update, included billboards. And as much as billboards and custom audio was completely welcomed, it really had nothing to do with Southeast Asia. So, these are just little ways of life updates, as well as different things that that Frontier likes to kind of give like a bonus content for the players. And you know, we absolutely welcome those beyond all comprehension. I mean, Frontier, thank you for the free updates. They're awesome. A lot of them are. So what can we expect with the next 1.9 update that will come out right alongside with the DLC? Well, in all reality, we don't really know. Again, just like the DLC, no one knows. There's nothing in the files, nothing to project that. The only thing that we really have to go off is some of the previous context that Frontier has published already. For example, when they released the food counters, they said that more would be coming. Well, could it potentially mean that we are going to get some more food counters? Possibly some gift shop counters and so forth? My thought is, I've noticed that Frontier does like to kind of copy some of the modders. And we know who they are. For example, someone, Mr. Nicholas Lionrider, created eggs. And also the grunge details. What did we get in the Euro pack? Eggs and grunge details. Now, maybe Nick knew about that in a data mine file. Maybe he found it and kept his cards close to the table. And he went ahead and created that. Or, option B, he came up with the idea and Frontier followed suit. Not saying that Frontier is going to copy every single thing that Nicholas Lionrider and all the other modders do within the modding community. But the modders do have some really great ideas that maybe Frontier should take a few notes from. Because the modders are listening to the community and giving the community what they want. Now, I'm not saying that Frontier hasn't been doing that. But let's face it, in the very beginning, Frontier, they just provided a product and they say, you're going to eat it whether you like it or not. Kind of like when you tell your kid to eat supper. And just because, you know, if that kid doesn't like what you made, you just say, well, you're going to eat it anyways or you're going to starve. Well, Frontier kind of treated us like that in the very beginning. They would shove DLCs and animal packs, or not animal packs, but DLCs down our throats, not taking any consideration from the wish list or anything like that from the community, and say, hey, you know what? We're doing a South America pack, and you're going to like it. Now, of course, the community still was thankful, obviously. But things has changed, especially since COVID, during the pandemic, where Frontier seems to be listening to to the community more than what they used to. Especially after the whole Southeast Asia fiasco with the binturong. The community just screamed on how ugly and just horrible modeling that the binturong was. And what did Frontier do to respond? Right before the DLC, literally 2 to 3 days before, they massively remodeled, retextured, and resculpted the binturong to what it is today. And the community went just nuts because the community realized that they have an input, that they have a saying within their favorite game of Planet Zoo. And they realized that their parents, or Frontier in this case, they realized that Frontier is listening to us. And they are giving power to the people. Too bad some of our governments can't do that. That's a subject for a whole different video, and something I don't even want on my channel here. So, moving along. What type of DLCs can we expect? Or not DLCs, but updates can we expect? One of them that I believe that Leaf brought up was elevators. There's been some theories about a hotel pack. And as cool as a hotel pack would be, I just do not see that as an actual DLC. I could see it as an update, though. Just some different way of life mechanics within using the hotel idea. I think like the elevator is a great idea. There's basically 2 boxes about the size of a small keeper hut or trading center. And you can place them on top of each other, stack them, whatever, or put them on different parts of your zoo, where the guests go in on part A and they leave on part B, or vice versa. Stuff like that is something Planet Zoo needs. Stuff like that, I believe that Frontier will listen to. Other suggestions that I've seen out there are prop packs. And we're talking like backstage props. Now, of course, we do have a prop pack within the modding community that you can download off of Nexus by JoJo. And I tell you what, that is a great backstage tool to make realistic backstage. I mean, we're talking, we have rakes, we have shovels, we have hose. And I'm not talking like the hose that you find at the local club. I'm talking like the actual ground hose. And not those at the bar that you find at the bar either. Okay, let me rephrase it. So basically, the tool that you use to basically chop up the ground. That's a hoe, a ground hoe. You guys are perverted. Get your mind out of the gutter. But anyways, there's also fire extinguishers and other great items within that pack that are so useful when creating a realistic backstage area. Hay bales, fencing, water troughs, buckets. All of that could be easily implemented into a free update. Other aspects that we could see is new types of mechanics or current mechanics that would be fixed. If for whatever reason I see anything about the climbing mechanics being fixed, my first interpretation of that is that we are going to be getting a gibbon. That would be a good indication. And the fact that we do have files in the game for like the capybara, I believe the porcupine or whatever the case is, and the leafing, since those are all tropics. And if we do go with the tropic animal DLC for our first 2022 DLC, I don't see why gibbons would be excluded from that pack because the community is screaming for it. So if we see anything that is remoting, that is going to be announcing fixes to the climbing features and animations, don't be shocked if we get a gibbon in our next DLC. Other things that we could be getting implemented is maybe some different, to indicate that we are looking at an aviary pack. We could be looking at possible I don't know, netting pieces and stuff like that. Just, simple scenery, bird feeders and perches. If we see that, which honestly that will probably be in a scenery pack for the aviary, which will probably be the next, the 2.0 DLC. At least that's my theory. But if we see anything about flying mechanics or anything like that, then that would probably be a good indication that we may be getting an aviary pack or avian pack. Now, it wouldn't shock me if that Frontier goes ahead and gives us the pigeon files to have some ambient birds to kind of give us a little teaser of what's to come. I mean, they're already in Planet Coaster, why not? And there's so many props in Planet Coaster that could easily be implemented into Planet Zoo. I mean, I don't even know. Now, I understand a lot of those props from Planet Coaster are kind of licensed and so forth. So, and of course, a user agreement may not allow them to port it over. But there's a lot of props that probably could. So, I think some other aspects that we could look at is maybe some more faux rocks. Now, NDP just recently came out with his faux rock pack, and I tell you what, oh my god, if you haven't seen that yet, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous pack. I mean, it is by all means everything that Frontier, I mean, this is like Frontier quality. I mean, we have 80 different pieces. So yeah, this is indeed potentially something that Frontier could follow suit as well. And that could easily be in the next update. Who knows? But yeah, with that being said, other aspects that we could have included into the next update would be easy things to implement. Oh my god, I got so many different ideas, it's not even funny. But one thing that really stands out to me is in the last update, they brought us shop counters. Or, well, food counters, actually. And they said in that release that more will be coming. So, that brings us to our next update. Our free 1.9 update suggestion. Or theory. We already have food counters. The community is already screaming for gift shop counters. I think the next DLC or the next update, we should be getting some 1.9 update shop counters. And I think with those shop counters, we may get some gift shop props. It makes sense. And what's funny, Nicholas Lionrider has already created his gift shop pack, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I use it like no other. But to have it truly in-game will be astronomical to the Planet Zoo community. Especially for those that don't like to use mods. Oh, excuse me. Anyways, with that all being said, it's always a feasible possibility that Frontier could release those gift shop counters with maybe some gift shop items. It would totally change a lot of our builds. It would also make a lot of blueprints obsolete from the workshop. But again, it would be openly welcome. Now, whether or not they would go to the extent of having them be fully customized like Nicholas did, is a completely different subject. Sorry, I keep calling him Nicholas. I mean Nick. I know he hates being called Nicholas. I'm sorry, Nick. I apologize. But yeah, anyways, so if Frontier kind of followed the same thing that Nick did with the gift shop, I think it would be huge. However, I don't know if they'll allow as much of a customization that Nick did. I mean, Nick lets you go ahead and customize literally like the sleeves, the collar color, front and back logos. He went pretty far extreme. Other situations other theories that we may have for an update DLC. One thing I would really like to see, and the reason being is because I do a lot of video mapping within my zoos. And what video mapping is basically you take one large video and you take a bunch of small billboards and you record a certain section of that video in the space of that one billboard. And then you place all the different billboards in a configuration that you're wanting, whether it be a curved or a larger screen or whatever, to create one large image. This type of usage is done all the time in everyday videos that you see in the general public. If you're in New York Times Square, those big screens, those LED screens in New York Times Square, those are done with video mapping. Las Vegas, video mapped. Those big stadium screens that you see with the LED panels going all the way around the entire building, or the entire football field. That is video mapping. And if we have that capability to do that within Planet Zoo itself, which we do, it's just very painstaking. I tell you what, those zoos are going to be crazy. I actually do it. I do it in my Omaha Zoo. I'm doing it in our new project, and I will more likely be doing that in the reptile gardens as well. It is a fun and unique way of creating unique size billboards. Now, what would help us with that kind of getting back on topic here, what would be nice if Frontier gave us some different size curved billboards. Yeah, you're right. I said it. Curved billboards, like the curved wall set. And we'll have it like a 2 meter, or 4 meter, and also like an 8 meter. Those would be good. Or just keep them the current size, follow the same suit as the sizes that they have now, which is the 4, 8, 16, and 32. Basically, it'd just be a big curved wall. And then we wouldn't have to do as much video mapping. And it would be so much easier to use one video file versus multiple video files to create that nice curved billboard look. So that's something that maybe Frontier could take a few notes on, of something that we could use in our next update. Finally, and last but not least, the kingpin of all update requests that I really want. And that is boxless exhibits. Null exhibits. Frontier, you have the power. Give it to us. Enact on it. There's several people out there that will agree with me that a null exhibit, meaning that you could remove the metal and the glass and keep the terrain, would be perfect. Now, there's some things in there that would obviously maybe not, there are some animal enrichment items, such as like heat lamps for reptiles, that if we had a null exhibit or null border, it wouldn't work. So add another enrichment item. Heat rocks. Yeah, they do exist, Frontier. So, for example, you could say you have a choice of a heat lamp or a heat rock for this particular exhibit. Or maybe if you decide to select the null exhibit barrier option within the exhibit pack or within the exhibit itself, it replaces the heat lamps with heat rocks. And maybe reposition the misters or whatever the case would be. Little things like that will help change the game. It will help create more creative builds within the community. We will see things just skyrocket like no other within the community if we get stuff like that. So, those right there is pretty much my thoughts and my ideas of what could be in the next free update for 1.9. There's a lot of theories out there. And like I said in the last video, the community is up in arms with each other of who's right, who's wrong, who has the best theory and everything. But all in all, like I said before, it is just a game. So, since it's just a game, have fun with it. There is no reason for us to go ahead and just go all crazy with each other with this whole avenue of this whole aspect of just unacceptable behavior. Colorful language. And people are getting banned from the forums, as I mentioned yesterday, because their inability to act civil. So with all due respect, people, if you're going to post something, be civil about it. If you disagree with it, or someone disagrees with your theory or your thoughts or whatever, then take it with a grain of salt and move on. It is, after all, just a game. So I'm really excited to see what's going to be announced here shortly, hopefully with the next few weeks, for the next update and the next DLC. It'd be nice to see something with the shop counters, the null exhibits, or even curved billboards. We'll see something. But yeah. But until next time, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Till next time, build, play, and enjoy.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you smash that like button and leave a comment down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. That way you keep up to date with all the content that I release on a weekly basis. You can also follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Steam, Discord, as well as Facebook. Till next time, build, play, and enjoy.